Hello everybody, this is Gregory with 5 Minute Catholic Apologetics and Living, where 5 minutes of your time may get you to the divine. Today we're going to talk about the Republican victory and this false sense of security that some traditional Catholics have now that the election is over, putting so much trust in man. Now before we begin, let's start with a prayer. Nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritui Sancti. Amen. Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto, secut erat in principio et nunc et semper, et seculi seculorum. Amen. I'm recording this a few days after the presidential election was decided, in fact on the Thursday after the elections, and clearly President Trump has won again, and I think understandably so. The majority of the traditional Catholics, if not all of them, are pretty happy. And look, we've received directives from the Vatican that we should vote, for lack of a better word, the lesser of two evils. And is Trump a perfect candidate? No, he supports in vitro fertilization, which is one of the 5 Catholic non-negotiables. But if you look, the culture of death that is supported by the Democratic Party and by almost President Harris, that was a worse option. And you could say that for a lot of these things, that Harris would have been a worse option. And I think that most Catholics maybe, for again, lack of a better word, closed their nose and voted for Trump. Some voted Libertarian or third party because they didn't either like Trump as a person or some of the other platforms of the Republican Party. But I think as a majority, most traditional Catholics think that America would be in a better situation if Trump and Mr. Catholic J.D. Vance are now running the country and not communist Harris. Now, I do see, and maybe this is more in the Protestant world, the kind of Christ the King, Christ will reign, Christ will take care of things kind of mentality. And I think that no doubt Christ in his preordained knowledge knew how the election was going to go, of course. And I think that it gives me hope for America because I was pretty confident Harris was going to win. I even had bets with extended family that I thought Harris was going to win, not because I wanted her to win by any way, shape, or form, but I think that I just felt like Harris was going to win. And I think that America, in retrospect, because it was a pretty convincing victory for Trump, that it's the pendulum swing, right? So we've seen the last 4 years, the economy got worse, but more importantly, aside from like in the inflation and how we dealt with the Afghanistan withdrawal, and I think it was more of just the social issues where a lot of people saw the gender confusion. They didn't really jive with the, hey, we can give underage kids drugs and or surgery without parental consent. And again, that was not in every state. Here in Texas, certainly it wasn't that case. But there was that norm. And then you just saw a lot of other social issues that I think have gone so radically to the left the last 4 years that it was going to be, even like typical moderate middle Americans are going to be like, this is too excessive. And we're going to swing back to more of a conservative view. Now, Trump isn't going to save this country. Make America great again. Trump isn't going to make America great again. He's not. He is not. You cannot put trust in man. What do we have to put trust in? God, of course. But we also have to look in the mirror. And I think that there's this complacency that would be very easy to kick in, that, oh, Trump won, now I can kick back and go back to my worldly vices, my worldly way. And I think that is not smart at all. Trump tried to fix the country 8 to 4 years ago. Maybe it was successful in some ways, but not in others. And even if the House goes Republican, it was all Republican in 2017, and he didn't fix America. And so what do we have to do to fix America? We have to look inward and look at ourselves. We are wretched sinners. And as we as Americans continue to sin, America can't improve. You want America to improve, we have to turn away from the glamour of evil. We have to turn away from sin. What would be some plausible examples of that? Well, the pandemic of divorce, of illegitimacy. The majority of kids born today are illegitimate. And in some communities up to 70-80%. Cohabitating. The drunkenness problem, the obesity problem, the overspending problem. These are just a couple of things that we have to fix. Trump isn't going to fix that. Trump's not going to fix my addictions to porn or gaming or whatever it is. I'm not addicted to either of those things, just giving examples. But we have to fix ourselves, and we have to fix ourselves, our family, our community, our church, our parish, and everything on the local level. Subsidiarity, it all starts from the local level on the way up. So if we're like, yeah, Trump won, cool, now I'm going to go binge drink. No. Or yeah, I'm going to continue to live in sin. No. We have to fix America. And do we have a better chance of making America a Christian nation like it was through the 18th and 19th century and half of the 20th century with Trump in office? Yeah, because at least he's neutral, if not somewhat supportive of religion, whereas Harris and the Dems are outright hostile toward those who are religious. So yes, do we have to dive into the Benedictine option, the one of just where we go in the middle of nowhere and start hoarding and prepping with other trads and getting our guns and our food ready because the government's going to come take everything? No, we could postpone that probably for 4 years. But I think it'd be better for us to get engaged. Not engaged if you're already married, but just engaged with local government, with civics, all these things. Look in the mirror, look at our family, and fix up the sin and the vice. Because we are woeful sinners, some more than others, but we're all woeful sinners. Through the mercy of God, thank God we have the mercy of God, whether it be in confession or otherwise. But we need to not rely on Trump. Trump isn't going to fix this country. No man or woman can fix this country. We have to fix ourselves. Right? So marriage is the microcosm of society. It's the domestic church. So we have to fix ourselves, fix our nuclear family, and then go from there. And if everybody is doing this in America, then you're going to see an actual change. And yes, it helps, of course, if we can purge the insidious cultural Marxism that's being taught on every level through social media, academia, publishing, everything. Yes, of course that would help. All the indoctrination, the inculcation. Yes, that will help. But you know what? If we inoculate ourselves from these things by keeping the family intact with good religious family values, then when we are exposed to this insidious crap that's on screens, we're less likely to fall for it. So in closing, is it good that Trump won? Yes. Am I happy that Trump won? Yeah. Do I think he's a good man? No. Hey, he's a sinner, right? He's done some questionable things in the past. But you know what? St. Paul murdered Christians. And you can have people with questionable values still be good leaders. Most of the great leaders, if you just look at the 20th century, were not necessarily the best people, but they still led well. So it doesn't really matter if Trump is a good guy or not. I don't vote for the people because I don't know these people. I've never met these people. Yeah, he seems like a nice guy. We don't know. They could all be frauds. You vote for the ideology, and we have the guidance of Holy Mother Church to tell us how to vote. And of course, there's the 5 non-negotiables. Abortion is one of them. And just for those things, a lot of it is easy. Let Holy Mother Church, in our obedience to Holy Mother Church, tell us on one level how to vote. So we don't have to overthink things. And yes, the questions of life, whether they be euthanasia or abortion, is more important than the immigration policy, the foreign policy, foreign affairs policy, the policy with the Ukraine, the policy with all these things. No, it's the non-negotiables are more important because that is the essence of life. These are the most important things. So we have to look at those. But either way, Trump's not going to save us. We have to save ourselves. Guys, post in the comments. I'd love to hear from you if you agree or disagree. Until next time, take care. God bless and pray.